What's good, everybody? Welcome to That Sports Dude. As always, you know I'm your host, Chris Dunlap. Appreciate you guys tuning in right here to TSDN for our first official prediction live stream show. Let me know in the comments if you guys are excited for this show, as I am. Predictions are always something that gets everybody riled up for the season. And with the season just a week away, man, can't wait to give you guys my predictions so you guys can so we can go back, have that back and forth that I get so excited about. And then going into, after about 18 or so months of not having any football, what better way to get everybody amped, get everybody geeked for the season than to have this live stream prediction show. So if you guys are excited, let me know in the comments what school you're repping. And if you're excited, let me see some 100 emojis, some fire emojis. Let me know what you guys think, man, because it's going to be real lit up in here. So, give you guys a quick rundown of the show, and then we'll get right into it. So, like I said, we did this training camp tour, but unfortunately, we weren't able to hit every single school, every single training camp. So I'll give you a brief preview of two programs who I think are really going to have some really good years. Two of the programs that we didn't get a chance to hit. And then after that, we'll get right into my Stripes division predictions. And then after that, after a quick commercial break, we'll get into my Stars division predictions. And then after my Stars division predictions, we'll do a quick Q&A session so you guys can ask whatever questions you want. Get a little insight on why I picked who to be a playoff team or a championship team. So let me know in the comments who you think is going to win the DCIAA Gravy Bowl and the DCIAA Turkey Bowl before we get into it. And again, if you're excited, I need to see those fire emojis in the comment section, whether you're watching here live or on the replay. Let me know that you are excited for DCIAA football. Now, like I said, we'll give you a quick short preview of two teams who we didn't get a chance to check out during training camp. So first and foremost, I want to start with the Wilson Tigers. So Wilson comes into this season. It'll be year number 2, but season number 1 under Manoso Rogers. Now, two things that you have to accept, and two things are for sure about a Manoso Rogers coach football team. Two things. Number one, they're going to be in shape. When he was at Ballou, the one thing that I can say about the Knights is that they were in shape. And I'm not just talking about, a little bit of shape. I'm talking about deep playoff, deep state Turkey Bowl, state championship playoff run shape. That's why we would see, especially those first 2 years of his tenure at Ballou, we saw Ballou in the playoffs, deep into the playoffs, 2 Turkey Bowl appearances, and then that state championship win. So one thing I do know about this Wilson team is that they'll be in shape. Second, they're going to be disciplined. Now, I've talked to Coach Rogers numerous times, even since he's been up at Wilson. Talked to him a few times since then. The one thing that I know Manoso Rogers is going to have, he's going to have a disciplined football team. Coming from Friendship, he was actually under Coach Azar's. He was one of the assistant coaches under Coach Azar. The one thing that I know is that he's going to have a disciplined football team. He preaches and demands discipline out of his football team. So that's one thing. That's another thing that I expect to see from Wilson. Will they make a deep championship run? That remains to be seen as we get into the season. And you guys will hear in a minute after this segment and the next segment where I believe Wilson is going to be ranked and whether or not I think they'll make it to the Turkey Bowl. So that's one thing. That's Wilson for you. I think Wilson's going to be in shape and they're going to be disciplined. And coming into a season where we didn't have a season last year in 2020, I think that's going to be so very important. So that's what I'm excited to see. Whether or not that's two things I'm excited to see about this Wilson team. They're going to be in shape, which is so important, especially when we get into November and December time. And they're going to be disciplined. And DCIAA is so important to be a disciplined football team. Now, the next team I want to talk about is the Ron Brown Monarchs. A lot of people say, Chris, why are you sleeping on Ron Brown? They tell me in my DMs, they tell me in the comment section on IG, Chris, you sleeping on Ron Brown. What's up with you, yo? I'm not snoozing. Please believe that. But I will say this. Ron Brown has a whole lot to prove coming into 2021. I believe that they actually took a step backwards in 2019, as I predicted them to be a Gravy Bowl, and I predicted them to be in the Gravy Bowl in 2019. But they ended up really clawing their way into the playoffs, beat Bell by a touchdown to get into the playoffs. It ended up being a 4th seed, losing to Anacostia in the first round. So I think that's a step backwards, because a lot of you may remember this. In 2018, that was a pretty good football team. That was a really good football team. They were a touchdown away, took McKinley Tech into overtime in the playoff game in 2018, took them to overtime and lost by a touchdown, and really probably should have won that game, because Ron Brown turned it over, I think, 2 or 3 times. So, and had 2 or 3 touchdowns called back. So you guys can kind of, connect the dots in that one. Ron Brown probably should have been in the Turkey Bowl in 2018, and I definitely expected to see more in 2019, but unfortunately we did not see that. So coming into this year, I believe for them, they got to have a winning season. I won't go as far as to say it's Gravy Bowl or bust, but coming into this year, this will be, 18, 19, 20, 20. This will be year 4, season number 3 for Ron Brown. It's getting to a point where are you the cream, or are you lean? Are you real, or are you, as my pastor would say, Memorex, which means it's just a fancy word for fake. So that's what I need to see. I need to. Ron Brown has a lot to prove to me, and I think to the entire league. So that's one thing that those are my thoughts on Ron Brown. Man, I think it's a deep playoff run. Especially a winning season or bust for them, or I don't know what the future is going to look like for Ron Brown. So that's my quick prediction on those 2 teams, Wilson and Ron Brown. Just to recap, I believe Wilson will be an in-shape team, especially coming into season 1, in-shape and disciplined team coming into year 1 in the Manoso Rogers era. And Ron Brown, simply, they just got a lot to prove in 2021. They got to win. Now that we got that out the way, let's get into my highly anticipated Stripes division predictions. Let me know in the comment section if you guys are excited to hear these Stripes division predictions, because I know I'm excited to reveal them. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, my Stripes division predictions. Hope you guys like that graphic right there. My Stripe division predictions. Number 4 seed, the McKinley Tech Trainers. I believe McKinley Tech will come in at number 4 seed this year. The number 3 seed, the Bell Griffins. I believe Bell will return to playoff form, as I predicted them to do last year. So let's see what Bell looks like this year. I think they'll be a number 3 seed going into the playoffs. Number 2 would be the Anacostia Indians. I actually predicted Anacostia to win the Gravy Bowl last year, so I expect to see them make a return to the playoffs, and they'll be the number 2 seed. And the number 1 seed, I don't think this will be a surprise to anyone. The defending Gravy Bowl champions, the Coolidge Colts. I think Coolidge is going to be the team to beat in the DCIAA Stripes division, especially like they were in 2019. I think they're going to have a lot of great playmakers, and the one thing, and we'll get into it a little more, when we get into the Q&A session. I think Coolidge is really going to kind of strap up and just pound people and punch people in the face. So that's what I'm excited to see from Coolidge. Now, let me bring that up again. Those are my Stripes division playoff 4. Coolidge number 1 and a number 2, Bell number 3, and McKinley Tech as the number 4 seed. There we go right there. Now, my 2021 DCIAA Gravy Bowl matchup. Let me know if you guys are excited for this. In the 1 versus 4 matchup between Coolidge and McKinley Tech, I believe the Coolidge Colts will defeat McKinley, and they will advance to a 2nd consecutive DCIAA Gravy Bowl in 2021. And in the 2-3 matchup, which are always competitive, I believe that the Bell Griffins will upset Anacostia, and they will return to the Gravy Bowl, and they will face Coolidge in an uptown battle. That's what I think. That's what I think right there. I think Bell, the reason I put Bell as the number 3 seed, because some of the things that I saw that they're trying to do in training camp, I don't know if it will click. up until mid-season, up until late in the season. But I think when it clicks, and I believe that it will, Bell is going to be a very, very dangerous team in the Stripes division. So you guys definitely have to keep a lookout on Bell. Now, let's bring that back up. In the 2021 DCIAA Gravy Bowl, in the 1 versus 3, in the Coolidge versus Bell matchup, I believe that the Coolidge Colts will repeat and that they will defeat Bell and be back-to-back DCIAA Gravy Bowl champions. And you guys know what happens when a team wins back-to-back Gravy Bowls. They go to the Stripes. They go to the Stars division. So I believe that the Coolidge Colts will defeat Bell in the DCIAA Gravy Bowl this year, and that they will be back-to-back champions. And I think really Coolidge is really just gonna line up, say we're bigger than you, we're better than you, we better than you, and we're just gonna punch you in the mouth. And it's nothing that you're gonna be able to do about it. Do I think they're just gonna stomp all over Bell in the Gravy Bowl? Not in the least bit. I think this Bell team is really gonna do some great things. But I think ultimately Coolidge is gonna just be a little too much for him. That's really what I think is gonna happen. That's truly what I think. So let me bring that up again. I believe that the Coolidge Colts will be 2021 DCIAA Gravy Bowl champions. So all the Coolidge faithful in the comment section, in the chat, let me see the orange and white hearts. Let me see the fire emojis, all that there. Because I do believe the Coolidge will go back to back. Now, I know some Griffins, I know Anna, I know they may not like that, but what is the best way to prove me wrong? Win. So, and I think that's what Coolidge will do this year. Now, if you guys like those predictions, if you didn't, put some fire emojis in the comment section. If you are excited for DCIAA Stripes Division action. And then after this break, make sure you guys keep it locked right here to TSDN because next I'm going to reveal, better said, my DCIAA Stars Division predictions. Who y'all think is going to be in that Turkey Bowl? I'm going to reveal that after this. Keep it locked. You're watching our live prediction.
In the DC, Maryland, or Virginia area, we welcome you to come by and visit with us. I'm sure you'll be inspired by our services. And we're located at 4401 Sheriff Road Northeast in the Deanwood community of Washington, D.C. Listen, if you'd like more information about the church and all of the various things that we're doing, we'd love for you to give us a call at 202-398-3000, or you can certainly tune into our website at goodsuccesschurch.org, or you can certainly connect with us on all the social media platforms, Good Success Church DC, and we'd love to connect with you. Listen, here at Good Success, we are about reaching people and helping them to grow, and we service our community in a multiplicity of ways: food, harvest, clothing, bank, and so many other ways we serve this present age because we know God wants us to reach and touch people. So I just want to share with you that if you'd like to get more information, again, please feel free to call us at 202-398-3000, and we'll be sure to get back in touch with you and connect with you.
Hold that thought. No, you guys couldn't hear me. No, don't worry about that. I know you guys couldn't hear me. I actually had it muted right here on the soundboard. Gotta love live TV. But again, I'm your host, Chris Dunlap, here for our DCIAA live prediction show. Hope you guys are enjoying it, and I hope you guys got a good laugh just as my audio was muted. But again, if you guys are enjoying this live broadcast, let me know with some fire emojis. Let me know with some with some strong arm emojis. And again, let me know what school or what program you're repping, because we definitely maybe do some shout outs in a quick second. I see we got AJ Mosley. Shout out Auntie AJ. Got Gail Kingsland. I think my wife is tuned in. Kenneth Scott. Denise Feelings. D'Amico Scrub. Coach Suggs. I can't wait to see that Bell offense. I know you probably ain't too happy about that about that Gravy Bowl prediction, but I think it's gonna be real cool. And yes. Let's get it going. So, like I said before the break, this is the time where I reveal my DCIAA Stars Division predictions. Who y'all think I'm going to say is going to be in that Turkey Bowl? We getting ready to find out. All right. Here we go. Are you guys ready? Let me know. Now, we're going to jump right into it. My number 4 seed in the DCIAA Stars Division playoffs. Number 4 seed will be the Wilson Tigers. I predicted this last year that Wilson would be the 4th seed, and I'm kind of gonna stick right there with it. In the first year under Manoso Rogers, I don't see Wilson making a deep playoff run, but I think there still will be a playoff team. So that'll be Wilson. Number 3, this is going to make so many people mad, but y'all know how I get down. I got to keep it 100. H.D. Woodson is going to be the number 3 seed. Now, I'm going to bring myself back on camera so I can look everybody in their eyes. I know y'all going to be mad, but that's okay. Again, I predicted H.D. to be number 3 in 2018, and what did that 2018 team do? They went and won it all. So everybody at Woodson, y'all do what that team did. You prove me wrong and go win, all right? Let's see what's going to happen. Now, let's get back to it. Wilson, number 4. HD, number 3. Now, number 2 seed. Theodore Roosevelt Rough Riders. I think Roosevelt is going to do a lot of great things this year. And I'm excited to see the type of offense they have. So I believe they'll be number 2. And no surprise here, the defending Turkey Bowl champions, the Dunbar Crimson Tide, I believe, will be the number 1 seed going into the playoffs. Dunbar, I believe, is going to be a great team once again. I don't think that they'll rely heavy on the passing game like they did when 2019 DCIAA Stars Division MVP Amonte Dreyer was under center. I believe that they'll be more of a gritty, grimy team, and they'll punch a lot of people in the face with that big offensive line, and they'll throw Bear. I think Bear's going to get a lot of carries this year. Bear and Daquan Harvin are going to get a lot of carries out of that backfield, and they're going to rely heavy on their defense. So we're definitely going to see. What Dunbar is going to be this year. Now let me bring that back up just as a reminder, you guys. There we go. It'll be Dunbar number 1 seed, Roosevelt number 2 seed, HD number 3, and Wilson as the number 4 seed. That's how I think the playoff is going to shake up. Now, Turkey Bowl 51. Let me see some hashtag TB51 in the comments. If y'all are excited for Turkey Bowl 51 as I am, I can't wait. Now, my Turkey Bowl 51 matchup. In the 1 versus 4 Dunbar versus Wilson matchup, I believe that Dunbar will defeat Wilson and Dunbar will advance to a second consecutive DCIAA Turkey Bowl. And in the 2-3 Roosevelt versus H.D. Woodson matchup, I believe that the Roosevelt Rough Riders will defeat H.D. Woodson and that they will advance to a DCIAA a DCIAA Turkey Bowl in hopes of becoming the first team to win the Turkey Bowl and the Gravy Bowl. That's my Turkey Bowl 51 matchup, Dunbar versus Roosevelt. Shout out to my man KP. I know he loves those predictions, as those two are some of the most dedicated Unison brand teams. And y'all go stack up. Y'all go stock up on some Unison brand. Show my man some love. I don't know why. If you're not wearing Unison at this point, I don't know what you're doing. But back to this, man, I think Roosevelt and Dunbar, I believe that they're going to have really great seasons. And, man, I think those are going to be y'all Turkey Bowl teams right there. I think Dunbar and Roosevelt. I know HD. Y'all know y'all going to be mad at me. Coach Fuller, I love you, man. You my guy. You my guy. I've interviewed you more than any other head coach, man. But I gotta be honest, man. And y'all know you understand that. Now, let's bring that back up. Bam. In my DCIAA Turkey Bowl 51 matchup, number 1 seeded Dunbar Crimson Tide versus the number 2 seeded Roosevelt Rough Riders. My prediction for Turkey Bowl 51, I believe that the Roosevelt Rough Riders will upset Dunbar and that they will become DCIAA Turkey Bowl champions once again. I think Chris Harden is definitely going to. I think Chris Harden has built a championship winning program, and I believe that will come to fruition here in 2021. I definitely believe that is going to happen. Again, do I think that Roosevelt is just going to run over Dunbar? Absolutely not. No. And to be honest, this could be anybody's matchup. But I just believe that going into this season, I think Roosevelt has no questions. I think they know exactly what they have. I think they have a really good football team. I think they have weapons, especially on offense at every aspect, at every level all great offensive line, great receivers. Maybe a little bit to prove a quarterback, but I believe KJ is going to be a pretty good quarterback. Running back, they had going into his junior year. John Pratt was 3rd in the league in rushing his freshman year, and I definitely think it's going to be between him and Kayvon Sneed for that rushing title. I still believe that Kayvon Sneed is going to win it, but I would be surprised if Pratt is not right up there with him. So that's my prediction. I believe that the Theodore Roosevelt Rough Riders will defeat Dunbar in Turkey Bowl 51, and that they will be the DCIAA Turkey Bowl 51 champions. Those are my predictions. Now that we got that out the way, let me bring this up so everybody can see just a refresher on the Stripes division. You guys know I'm actually directing as well, just so you guys know. I don't want you to think I'm just ignoring you. There we go. Coolidge, I believe, are going to be our Stripes division champions. Great DCIAA Gravy Bowl champions. I think they're going to defeat Bell in the Gravy Bowl. And then the Roosevelt Rough Riders, I believe they're going to defeat Dunbar in the Turkey Bowl. And I think they're going to be the champions. So these are my predictions. I believe that Roosevelt and Coolidge will be champions this year. Now, one of my favorite parts, one thing I love about doing these predictions is that you guys get so riled up about them. And the number one thing when I reveal them, everybody says, Chris, why this? Chris, why that? Chris, why you sleeping? Chris, why you playing with us? What you doing, cuz? So I'm getting ready to reveal, do a little Q&A real quick. As I talk, I'm gonna be looking through the chat right here, and you guys let me know any questions that you have. Ask me why I think such and such, why I think this, why I think that. Any question that you want, please be respectful because we are live here on YouTube and anybody can see this. So just let me know what you guys think. Any questions as I, kind of give you guys some insight on why I said what. Now, we'll start with the Stripes division. You guys let me know. And if you have a question. Please put a question mark, 2 question marks before your question and 2 question marks after your question. So we can get those answered. So they'll stick out. We can get those answered in an orderly fashion. Now, I know the first question, and I'm gonna dive right into it. I know the first question is gonna be, Chris, why are you turning your back on HD Woodson? Not turning my back on HD Woodson. I can never do that. That program has done. If that being a part of that program, I'm still using some of the things that I learned as doing while I was a part of that program in my life here as a grown man. I'm still using some lessons and some things that I learned here. I'm still using things that I learned now that I learned at while I was at HD. So definitely not turning my back on that program whatsoever. I'll give you the number one reason. I was going to say this and that. The number one reason that I think HD Woodson is going to be a number 3 seed and that they're not going to make it to the Turkey Bowl is because Coach Brandon Dow is no longer there. I've said this. I've gone on record, whether that be on social media, whether that be on previous, Lil Larry. I'm actually answering that right now. What do you think? Why do you think HD lacks so much? Oh, what do you think HD lacks so much? I got you. I'm actually answering that now. Good question. Great question. This year, I just think without Coach Brandon Dow, that's not going to be the same football team. Let's be real for a second. 2018, 2019. What carried HD Woodson? Defense. In 2018, other than Mike, other than Chris Roberts Jr., they really didn't have an offense. Mondre Lane had a pretty good year, but other than Mike, really, they didn't have an offense. That defense was lights out in 2018. Heck, Tenye Dixon, who is now at UVA, he called game in the Turkey Bowl with an interception. Picked off Gator in overtime in the red zone. That was game. Defense carried that team in 2018. Same thing in 2019. The only team that they couldn't stop was Dunbar. And actually, in the last week of the season, they held Dunbar to 6 points. But they held Dunbar scoreless, scoreless. But they only scored 6 points. HD has not had an offense the last couple years. That's no disrespect to them. In 17, they were absolutely unstoppable. But 18 and 19, man, they haven't had an offense. That defense has carried them. And who's been the defensive coordinator? Coach BD. I've said this numerous times. Coach BD, position for position, pound for pound, division for division, is the best coach in DCIAA. I went so far as to say that I thought BD was going to be Fuller's successor. I called that once Coach Fuller, once the GOAT said, all right, ready to step down, walk off into the sunset with my 7, 8, or 9 championships. I hope he gets 9 because I think that'll be super historic. Whenever Coach Fuller decided to step down, I was penciling in Coach Brandon Dow to be the head coach. And for whatever reason, he's not there no more. I don't know what the deal was. You know, he has a business. He has a food truck business. Maybe he wanted to step away from football to build that. More power to him. BD's a great guy. And this is no disrespect to Coach Chris Jones. I love Chris. Chris is one of my teammates at HD. Been on one of my shows. You guys check out Life After Sports, the 3-part special with HD's 2010 football team. Chris was on it. But without Coach Brandon Dow, that is not going to be the same football team. And coming into 2021, if they don't have a killer defense like they've had, that's not going to be a championship winning program. That's not going to be a championship winning team this year. Now, I could be wrong, but those are my predictions. That's what I think. No Coach BD, I just don't see it happening, especially with the offenses that Roosevelt and Dunbar are going to bring to the table. I just don't see it happening for HD this year. Now, I could be wrong, and nobody wants to see Coach Fuller get 9 championships more than I do. That would solidify him as the greatest DCIAA football coach of all time, but I don't think this year will be one of those years. So, Larry, I was actually already in the process of answering your question, and I see And you guys make sure you stick around. I know we're getting a little bit of buffering. No worries. We're still going to get these questions in. So those are my thoughts on HD. Got another question from Denise Feelings, who is looks like to be a McKinley Tech alum. Shout out to Miss Denise. When do you think Tech will be a stronger program? Excuse me. So McKinley Tech actually were the first DCIAA Gravy Bowl champions. They defeated Phelps in the 2013, which was the first DCIAA Gravy Bowl. And they pretty much ran through the league that year. And has been a consistent team, a consistent playoff team. It's been a really consistent team going in throughout the Stars and Stripes division era. But coming into this year with a new head coach, and then in 2019 they graduated the class of 2020, which was the senior class on that 2019 football team for McKinley Tech. A lot of those guys graduated. And I said this in 2019 going into the playoffs. If Tech would have had a sniff of an offense, I think they would have won the championship. And I don't think we'd be talking about Coolidge going back to back. I think they would have beat Coolidge in the playoffs had they had an offense. But, you know, you guys know how that went. Coolidge defeated them in such and such and such. So with a new head coach, I don't see Tech making leaps and bounds and being a Gravy Bowl contender this year. I think you're going to have to give Coach Sturdivant, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, I think you're going to have to give him 2 or 3 years, kind of the same thing as we've seen at Dunbar, at least 2 or 3 years. Give him a chance to really change the culture, give him a chance to build up the program in the way that he would want to. My guy, Calc Knowledge, Darius Redmond, one of my former teammates, and Coach Kenny Brown, two guys who opinions I hold pretty high, they said that they were actually excited that he got the McKinley Tech job. So I think if those two guys are sold on him, I'm sold on him, because I especially my man Calc Knowledge, he knows DCIAA football, one of the best tight ends to come out of DCIAA football, in my opinion. I may be a little biased. I did win a ring with him, but I think just give him some time. 2 or 3 years, man, we might be talking about McKinley Tech as a championship caliber team once again. But that, like all things, remains to be seen. Jeremiah Drummond, what's up, champ? I'm so glad. I can't wait. I'm pulling for you so much, man. I hope you have a real good season up at Anacostia down at Anacostia this year. This is Jeremiah Drummond. Why's your opinion on Anacostia changed? It's not that my opinion on Anacostia has really changed. It's more so what I believe Bell is going to be. So going into 2020, you guys remember this, I predicted that Anacostia were going to be the Gravy Bowl champions in 2020. Now, after a season off, in 2019, they had already graduated some pretty good players. So going into 2020, they were already missing a few pieces from a really, really good 2019 program. Excuse me. So coming into this year, and coming into this year, kind of more the same. Graduated some more pieces. And I think that year away from football is really going to hurt Anacostia. Not so much that they'll just fall off the wagon. They just won't be a competitive team at all. As you guys did see, I did pick them to be the number 2 seed. But I think that Bell, really, it's not so much about what I don't think Anacostia is going to be. It's more so about what I think Bell is going to be. What I saw at Bell, I'm not going to reveal what I saw because I'm not going to spoil any surprises that they have. That's one thing that I don't do. If I see something, if you invite me to your practice and I see something that's completely different, I'm not going to say what it is or anything like that. But Bell, if it clicks with these additions of the Suggs twins, if it clicks what they're trying to do, Bell is going to be dangerous on offense, offensively. Defensively, That still remains to be seen. Offensively, Bell is going to put points on the board. And I just don't see Anacostia having enough weapons to be able to keep up with Bell late in the season. That's one thing that I'm expecting to happen to Bell. I think Bell's going to be playing their best football at the end of October into November, and they're just going to hit the ground running, and they're going to upset McKinley. They're going to upset Anacostia. So Jeremiah, again, it's not so much that, I don't think that you guys are going to be a really good football team or that you guys have gotten worse or anything. I just believe that Bell is going to be really dangerous in the second half of the year. Now, if it clicks for Bell as soon as we kick off next week, if it clicks and they hit the ground running, Bell might be the number 2 seed. And I'll go as far as to say Bell might be the number 1 seed if Coolidge goes in and sleeps on them and think they're going to beat them 36-8 like they did in 2019. I don't believe Coolidge will sleep on anybody. Coach Kevin Nesbitt does not run his program like that. But I just don't I don't see Bell not being a dangerous football team. And I think, unfortunately, late in the season, they're going to be playing their best football. And I just think they're going to just outplay you guys. No disrespect, Jeremiah. I ain't got nothing but love for you, man. But I just think they're going to outplay you. That's it. All right. Y'all keep the questions coming. James Stevens. What's up, James? Appreciate you tuning in right here to TSDN. It's our live stream show. Do you think Bell will have a strong defense? I think Bell's going to have to score points. I'll say that. I don't. When I went to their training camp, they didn't really impress me defensively. I think they'll have some bright spots. But I don't see Bell having a dominant defense. I think they're gonna have to score points, and I think they'll do a really good job scoring points. But I don't see them having a dominant defense. That's why. That's really why I said that. That's why I said Coolidge is gonna beat them. I just think I don't see Bell having a dominant defense, and to be honest, I think Coolidge is really just going to rough them up. I think Coolidge is going to rough up everybody in the league. Now, I could be wrong, but for what I've seen from Coolidge, I think Coolidge is going to line up and punch people in the face. And I don't see Bell in the Gravy Bowl being able to handle that. I could be wrong. I think they're going to be really good offensively. Oh, my gosh. I think Bell is going to have everybody like, whoa. But defensively, I think they got a whole lot of question marks, and I think Coolidge is really just going to punch them in the face in that Gravy Bowl. But again, I could be wrong, but that's what I think about Bell. Offensively, check. Defensively, we'll see. So, are they rebuilding or need adjustment to new leadership? Gail Kingsland, let me know what do you mean? Are you talking about? McKinley Tech or are you talking about H.D. Woodson? Let me know. And no, no, I am not biased. I just got to keep it 100. Now, just a couple more things, while the question's still rolling. You guys, come on, keep putting your questions in. Let me know what you think. Don't slow up on us now. Keep the questions coming in. Jew, my guy, Bully Worldwide. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it, champ. Keep the questions coming in. So Wilson. Why did I put Wilson as number 4 seed? I kind of talked about it in the opening segment. First season under Manoso Rogers. And I don't think they have too many weapons. They may have 1 or 2 pieces. Some guys, a few people have hit my DMs and said, watch out for such and such. I'm not going to reveal it because I ain't going to take the thunder like that. But I just don't see it. I picked Wilson to win the Turkey Bowl in 2018, and for all intents and purposes, they kind of laid an egg. Well, not really. Baloo was a really good. HD was just dominant, and Baloo was a really good football team, as 17 and 18. So no, they didn't lay an egg. I just made a bad prediction. But yeah, I just don't see Wilson competing, being a really tough team this year. I think it's really going to be building, not necessarily rebuilding, but under a new head coach. It's really hard for me to say under a new head coach somebody's going to be a championship contender. You guys probably know that from my 2019 predictions. I didn't predict Coolidge to make the playoffs, and nor did I. And I predict Anna to get bumped out as a 4th seed. So that's those are my thoughts on Wilson. Cardozo, Phelps, Eastern. A lot of times I try to stay away from talking about these two teams, not because I don't have nothing but love for them. Eastern, Cardozo were at one point 2 of the most dominant programs. And of course, I got to show respect to Eastern because some of you might know this, some of you might not. I coached at Bell, and I was the defensive coordinator of those 2 Gravy Bowl wins that Eastern had. So I don't got nothing but respect for Eastern. I can't take nothing away from them. Especially that cat that wore number 7, who was like Mike Vick, J. Rome Johnson. Shout out to him, and shout out to Bowie, my alma mater. Definitely expect them to do some big things on the college level. But it was a lot of crazy stuff in 2020 and then in the offseason going into this year at Eastern, and I just don't see Eastern being competitive. Cardozo and Phelps, again, kind of the same thing. Coach Isaiah Harris is still at Phelps. That's my guy. Love that guy. Great man of God. But I just don't see it, man. I don't see Cardozo or Phelps or Eastern being competitive this year. I would love to be able to say different, especially about Eastern, because they were the first team to win 4 straight Turkey Bowls at one point. And Cardozo, Coach Bob Hedden, that's where he won his first DCIAA football title as a head coach for Cardozo, and then went to Woodson and won 7. But I just don't see it. James Stevens, understandable. We are pretty young on defensive side. I'm only a sophomore. Hey, let me tell you this. In 2014 and 2014, we had a young defense when I coached at Bell. We had a really good defense. Shout out to my man, Coach Pugh. Rest in peace, my friend. Blue Steel for life. We ended up taking that young defense to the Gravy Bowl. We had some seniors. Dante Sharp, Darius Campbell. We had some really good players, but we were pretty young defensively. And, we ended up taking that to a Gravy Bowl. Though we came up short, it's not about how young you are. It's about how good you are. All right? Remember that. Jude Gatlin. Bully Worldwide. What does Ron Brown lack? What can they improve on? To be honest, man, I don't know. They work hard from what I see. They're able to field the team. They always got numbers. I don't know what's missing. I would have to go to a practice and really sit down and dissect what the heck is going on. I don't know, but because 2019, it may have been because Coolidge and Anacostia and Tech were so much better in 2019 than they were in 2018. That might have been why they were the 4th seed. Because I expected Ron Brown to be a Gravy Bowl team, and they were the complete opposite. So I don't know, man. You probably have to ask them that, and maybe they can give better answers. Let's do that. Any Ron Brown Monarch players or coaches in the chat, let me know, what do you guys think you can improve on going into this year? Or better said, tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why you guys will be higher than why you guys will be a playoff team and ultimately a Gravy Bowl contender. You guys let me know in the comments. Let me see. Any more questions? No, not yet. Y'all keep the questions coming in, man. Keep them coming in. It's my favorite part. I wish my man KP. Too bad KP ain't on the jump. KP always got some good questions. So let's keep it going. Oh, here's a good one. Why don't I think Dunbar is gonna go back to back? One thing. The quarterback position. In 2019, if there were any questions about that Crimson Tide football team, which there were very few, it was not at the quarterback position. Amante Dreyer took the keys of that black and red Lamborghini and was driving 116, shout out to Reach Records, on the interstate with no brakes. And like Dunbar was doing pretty much whatever they wanted offensively. So that's the only thing. I don't know what the quarterback position is going to entail for them. I don't know if they're going to be a dominant offense. I think they're going to have a really good defense. But offensively, I don't know if they're going to be able to score like I think they're going to need to be able to score to keep up with Roosevelt. Roosevelt coming into this season, if they don't win the championship, it's a bust. Because they have everything. They were a young team in 2019. They were a young team and took the eventual Turkey Bowl champions, Dunbar. They took them to the brink in the playoffs. 8-0 is what Dunbar beat them by. And Chris Harden, I've talked to him. He's talked to him before. He said the number one thing, they couldn't score. If they were able to score in that playoff game against Dunbar, we may have been, Turkey Bowl 50 may have been completely different. Who knows what might have happened. So that's my thoughts about that, man. That's why I think Dunbar. Now, quarterback position, if they come out and there's no questions offensively, I may have to mid-season. I may have to change my predictions. But I don't think that's going to happen. Now, do I think Roosevelt is just going to run through the league? Absolutely not. I actually think Dunbar probably will still beat them in the regular season. Because I think KJ, if he ends up being a starting quarterback, which I believe he will be, I don't think KJ is really going to hit the ground running. I think it's going to take KJ and that Roosevelt offense some games to hit the ground running. But I think when it does click, kind of same with Bell, when it does, I don't think nobody's going to be able to stop Roosevelt offensively. At least I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Roosevelt is going to be a really good football team. I think Roosevelt's going to be real good. Now, come on. Any more questions before we wrap this thing up? Appreciate you guys keeping it locked right here to TSDN. Man, this has been so much fun. Our first live broadcast. And what better way to do our first live broadcast than with a live stream prediction show? Hope you guys have enjoyed it. I know I have. If you guys have any more questions before we wrap this thing up and get ready to go into the season, man, post them in the chat. Put 2 question marks before your question and after your question so they stick out. And I can see them and answer them when they come in. Now, before we get out of here, appreciate you guys tuning in. We're not ending the show yet. Just want to let you guys know some things that are coming up on TSDN. Next week, beginning Monday, Amplified, our Mic'd Up series will premiere at 8 p.m. right here on TSDN. Episode number 1 is going to be Winston Page Mic'd Up. I've taken a look. I watched them as a fan. Like, they're really good, and I'm not just saying that because it's on TSDN. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. It's something different that we haven't done before, and that hasn't been done on the high school level much, and hasn't been done on the high school level around here in the DC area at all. So it was a lot of fun to be able to do that. Shout out to Roosevelt, Bell, Ballou, and Anacostia for welcoming me to their training camps, those first 4 days of camp, for me to shoot those and get clips and audio for that. I think it's going to be real cool. I think you guys are going to really, really enjoy them. Yeah, I think it's going to be great. And then, like I said, we got you covered. Training camp tour tonight, and then Monday, Amplify, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then on Friday, we're going to be at Ballou for Ballou versus McKinley Tech. That'll be the first TSDN game, the first football game that TSDN is going to cover. It'll be Ballou versus McKinley Tech. And this will really give me a chance to see what McKinley Tech is going to be and see Coach Kenny Brown usher in his era of Ballou Knights football. Can't wait to see what those two teams put on the field, what type of product they put on the field. I think it's going to be really entertaining. And let me tell you this, and not just at Ballou, but across the city, whether it's out of town, I don't care where it is. If I don't hear crowds, if I don't see videos of crowds going absolutely insane, absolutely crazy, if I don't hear crowd noise like we heard last night on AEW when CM Punk came back, I'm going to be very disappointed because it's been 18 months. The last DCIAA football game was on Thanksgiving 2019. You guys get that in your minds. We've never had a year where we didn't have DCIAA football. So I need everybody. I need every house packed. I need every stadium packed as much as possible. I'm not sure if there are going to be any COVID-19 restrictions, but if not, man, y'all pack out the houses, pack out the stadiums, man. Standing room only. These student athletes deserve it, and I'm telling you, it's going to be so exciting. I can't wait till it start to get cold, October, November time. It's going to be awesome. Lil Larry, are you going to mic up players in game? That's coming soon. Stay tuned. So, looks like the questions have died down. Appreciate you guys tuning in right here to TSDN. If you are excited for DCIAA football, let me hear you make some noise in the chat. Let me see some fire emojis, some hands in the air, some strong arms, some 100 emojis. Let me know whether you're watching here live or on the chat. Let me know if you are excited for DCIAA football, because I know that I am. It's been 18 months. I cannot wait to get back out there and see student athletes doing what they do best, and that is balling the heck out. Now, just as a recap, my Gravy Bowl and my Turkey Bowl predictions. Coolidge and Theodore Roosevelt. Those are my predictions. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be an uptown bat. I think it's going to be an uptown championship time. I think it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be really exciting. I can't wait to hear. I can't wait to get on social media and can't wait to get on social media and see what you guys think about that. I really can't wait. Oh, that's going to be so great. But there we have it. Our first live stream prediction show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed it, because I certainly enjoy interacting with you guys here in the chat. It's so awesome. I can't wait. Can't wait to get this season going, man. Chris Goodwin, shout out to you, man. Can't wait to see what you and Wilson, Manoso and Wilson, y'all do up there. Shaquan Wells just left Rose. Look like it's a lot of firepower coming out of there. I told you. I ain't just talking out the side of my neck. I told you, Rose looks real good. Now, as we get into the season, just as a reminder, you guys may have seen this on my social media platforms. TSDN will not only be covering football this fall, but we're going to be covering girls and boys soccer and volleyball on a weekly basis, just like we do football. So make sure you guys subscribe right here to TSDN. You don't want to miss any of the action. We got you covered all season, all fall long. And then when we get into winter, we got basketball, some track and field. And then when we get into spring, we got some track, and we got some baseball. Man, we got you covered. You guys don't want to miss anything. Now, of course, you guys can follow me on social media. You can follow me on Twitter @_thatsportsdude. You can follow me on Instagram @_thatsportsdude_. And then you can find me on Facebook, Chris Dunlap, that sports dude. And of course, make sure you subscribe right here to TSDN. If you're in the chat right now, make sure you pound the subscribe button, like and share this for anybody who may have missed it. Some teams may have had practice or film study and stuff like that. I want everybody to be able to see it. Make sure you guys subscribe, because trust me, you do not want to miss any action, not just football and basketball, not just football, but just about every DCIAA sport. It's going to be great. We're so excited to get back to it. Oh, make sure you guys check out our newly launched website, www.thatsportsdudenetwork.com. If you want to see everything, all things TSDN, that's where you go. You guys can purchase some of our faith-based merch, as you guys see me wearing right here. And you guys have seen other social media posts of other people wearing our merch. Shout out to anybody who supported that. And then, of course, for any student athletes who may need tutoring, please go to my social media. You can go to my wife's social media @hisqueen_93. And you can shoot her a DM and let her know that you are interested in some tutoring, or you're interested in getting your student athlete tutoring. What better way to get prepared for the books, especially as we get ready to go back into the classroom for DCPS, than getting a little tutor and getting your mind right. So, hope you guys enjoyed this broadcast. I know I have. Yeah, Bernard, I'm right there with you, my friend. Cannot wait for DCIAA sports. Appreciate you guys keeping it locked right here to TSDN. I am your host, Chris Dunlap. Peace.